Year of the Villain, Sinestro Issue 1 sees the Ultraviolet Lantern head to Alpha Ceti 5, where its core has been destabilized from the invasion it is facing. 3 days before, Sinestro is given an assignment by Lex, who has learned of a people called the Paragons, a mysterious species who have come from their universe to stop the shift towards doom. Sinestro says that he will deal with them, but Lex warns him not to be so arrogant, since these are beings from outside their universe. But Sinestro points out that they are not in their universe, and now they are in theirs, and sooner or later, beings fail to live up to their reputation here. Lex tells him to stop them at all costs, and in the present, Sinestro arrives on the planet, fighting off the giant beings assaulting the destabilized planet. He notes that the beings can regenerate limbs after he cuts off some of their fingers, throwing Sinestro away as they continue destroying the planet. Sinestro knows that this is the third planet that they have destroyed in Lex's defense network, and the trail leads straight to Earth. As the beings leave, Sinestro finds the man in charge on the ground, Tauron, telling him despite not killing any of the Paragons, he can run tests on the fingers he cut off. Testing the fingers reveals startling results, as Sinestro learns that the regenerative properties of the Paragons are because of an entire civilization of microscopic beings living inside them. Sinestro notes that these are called the Microns, and as he observes them, he notes that their entire lifespan is 0.8 milliseconds, where they are bred to fight and repair the cell damage of the Paragons before the cycle of life starts over again for them. Sinestro's ring tells him that the planet will explode in 5 minutes, so he tells Tauron that he must leave, but all will be fine, and as he leaves the planet, it explodes. Meeting with the hologram of Lex, he says that there were setbacks, but Lex says he chose Sinestro because of his ultraviolet powers, since he can summon the essence of consciousness itself with it, and stretch himself to his limits, and also discover the limits of his new powers. Sinestro says that he will stop them, and Lex leaves, telling Sinestro to just eliminate the threat, even if it means giving up his own life. Sinestro catches up with the villains, and wonders how to kill literal gods, thinking the best way to defeat them is from within. Sending out 4 parts of his consciousness, he enters the beings, and as they deploy on another world, one of the Paragons gets his arms blasted off, and inside, the Microns begin their work. Sinestro appears to them, saying that he can help them. The Microns sound out a communication to all their people, telling them to do their duty for the Paragons, while Sinestro is asked what the Paragons are like, and he reveals to the people that their gods are a force of unmitigated destruction who spread death and misery, and the universe would be better off without them. The people aren't too happy at Sinestro's words, but Sinestro asks why they spend their short lives serving the Paragons. The Microns can't give a proper answer, and they don't even know why they are needed, but they know without the Paragons their world would fall apart. Sinestro knows that they are hard-working people, but there is no greater mistake in the universe than to serve someone who doesn't serve you back. The people ignore him, returning to their work as another planet is destroyed by the Paragons. The conscious constructs return to Sinestro, and one of them tells him he has another way to defeat them, since he spent time observing the Microns and learned much about them, and if they can get one more chance, they can beat the Paragons. On another one of Lex Luthor's defense outposts at the edge of the solar system, Lex rallies his troops as the Paragons arrive. Sinestro arrives not too soon later and lets his consciousness loose again. This time, he worked for the Microns, making them matter for once. Lex's forces want to pull back, but Lex denies the evacuation, saying the Paragons will soon stretch themselves too much or die, and either way, the work continues. Suddenly, the Paragons explode in fire, all dying off as Sinestro arrives. Later, at the Hall of Doom, Lex wonders how Sinestro did it. So the villain says he first tried to change who the Microns were, but soon changed his ways and showed them how to live longer lives, getting them to abandon their gods and way of life after extending their lives by 0.2 milliseconds. Doing this gave the Microns the pleasure of time, allowing them to be themselves for once and evolve by themselves and revolt against the Paragons. Lex says that his plan was unorthodox but effective, and Sinestro reveals that not all the Paragons died, since he he saved one, telling the being that if he continues to serve Sinestro, he will remain healed. Lex says that he wanted them all eliminated, and Sinestro reminds him that he only said he wanted the threat eliminated, and he did, and now the Paragon will help him in his work in bringing order to the universe, the work that matters to him. To get the Microns back to work, Sinestro gave them someone new to serve, himself, as they made him Minister of Information, and Sinestro took the job since they would eventually fall back to their old ways. So if they were going to serve anyone, they should serve him. He eventually got them all back to work by manipulating the public into thinking the newer generation is lazy. Lex is very impressed as Sinestro tells him he will be getting back to his work, and the Paragon has no choice but to serve him. As he leaves, Lex knows that the Paragon will serve for the rest of his life, or for the rest of Sinestro's life, and it will be interesting to see which one he chooses. Year of the Villain, Sinestro issue 1 was a damn good one-shot issue from Mark Russell that allowed him to flex his humorous and satirical writing skills, as well as building a fantastic character piece for Sinestro, showcasing his brilliant intelligence and how he too, like the Microns, was working for someone he didn't really know why, but now he is doing his own work, which makes me think we might get some sort of insurrection within Lex's ranks, which will be really awesome to see. I'd really like another Sinestro book from DC, and even one with Mark, since he really captures his character very well, and that kind of satirical, humorous side that he writes in all of his other books works really well with the character of Sinestro, surprisingly. I'm going to give this issue a 9 out of 10. Hey everyone, thanks for watching my newest video. If you enjoyed it, you might also like to check out my other reviews here on my channel. You can also follow me on various social media platforms like Twitter by searching Matt_FOS, or even join the Comic Multiverse Discord server and chat with other comic book fans, including myself and Joel from Cape Joel. Want cheap comics and trades? Head over to the book depository with the link in the description to get the cheapest trades and comics around, along with free shipping anywhere in the world. Until next time, this has been Matt of the Fortress of Solitude. Thank you so much for watching.